Every Friday or Saturday, senior Gabriela Martinez prepares for a meet.
I'm hoping to get like better times for colleges and stuff, like honestly just get my name out and obviously get my time down, but also I'm trying to focus more on the 200 since last year.
And although this might seem like an ordinary activity for some high school athletes, for Gabriela it's extraordinary, considering 1 year ago she couldn't even stand on her own.
Basically, I was at my friend's lake house and I used to ride dirt bikes with him when I was younger, but I hadn't ridden one since like 7th grade. And I thought it would be a good idea to get on it in a bathing suit with no helmet. And I basically popped like a wheelie like straight on to where like boats were docked on the side of his house. And I like went under the boats and I missed the hitches by like this much and I just somehow like went right under.
Following a visit to the ER and with 2 broken hands, Gabriela and her family knew her injuries went beyond what meets the eye.
The doctor, the 5th doctor that we went to, it was like at 6:30 at night. And he had checked my hands. He was like a specialist for my hands. And my mom was like, can you look at her leg? Because like I think there's something wrong with it. And he looked at it and he was like, we need to get you into surgery right now. And so then that's when I went into surgery. Because I had compartment syndrome. And that's just like when the tissue and the like fluid in your leg, you know when like something happens, you're like if you sprain your ankle it'll swell. And so it was swelling so much that it was breaking down my muscle. And so I like had muscle that died off and they had to take it out.
For Gabby, making it through the surgery was not even half the battle.
So after I had gotten the surgery, I was like bedridden for a month about, and I was in a wheelchair and I had like 2 casts on my hands because I broke both my hands. And so I only had like 1 working leg. And throughout the summer, like the whole goal was trying to get my foot flat on the ground because when I had surgery it was like this. So getting it to not dorsiflex was the really hard part. The biggest part of it was like mentally, like it would freak me out like running because I'm not kidding, like it felt like my muscle was about to snap in half. It made my head go to like weird places and it just like took me a while to get over that.
However, this process was not one she faced alone. Following 6 months from her accident, she returned to Troy's gym where she began the true recovery process.
She's already so neuro, she already compensates and adapts so quickly that what makes her a great athlete also makes her very susceptible to injury. So she was in her sympathetic nervous system, bad, and she was having a hard time getting out of it because it was very, very traumatic. And you can't really separate your brain from your body, but we did do some things neurologically to help her stay into her parasympathetic state to work through the emotional trauma. And one thing we were able to do is keep her body from going into the sympathetic nervous system and staying in the parasympathetic.
Troy has taken a special interest in Gabby and her story.
I have an only daughter and my wife, and they pretty much just really value and love female athletics. I just feel like it's not always fair what's offered to them and how they're viewed, and to see her, because I do view her somewhat as a daughter, and to see her come through and push through and persevere. I mean, it's the ultimate human story. It's a story of transcendence. She faced her dragon head on and she overcame it, and that's about as good as it gets in life.
Troy's gym uses triphasic methods of training, which focuses on branching dynamic movement into an athlete's eccentric, isometric, and concentric movement, and addressing them individually for more well-rounded results.
We meet 1 day a week for training, and then we do this thing that's called reflexive performance reset, and it's a beautiful thing, and it pretty much disrupts the compensations, resets the athlete, and then the athlete comes out of that session probably feeling about the best you ever feel, right? And so we do RPR as much as needed. And Gabby has my phone number and she texts me, and if she ever feels anything, we will meet wherever and get it done. Whatever she needs, we're going to take care of it.
Even after Gabby's many setbacks, only 8 months later she was able to pull through for a successful season.
I'm in the 4x4 and in the 200. And last year, a girl in our 4x2 got injured, and I had to go in. And this, like, our 4x1 and 4x2 always go to state, and so it was like a lot of pressure. But I ended up like qualifying for state for the first time, even after my injury and stuff. So.
And although Gabby's memory of the accident is foggy, small details from the day will remain unforgettable.
I always think about this. I was staring at like a singular blade of grass, like just laying on the ground, and I have like a burn on the back of my leg because the muffler like burnt my leg, and like I felt it, but like it just wasn't registering because I was in shock. And I was literally just staring at grass, like this one piece of grass, and it started like moving and like going back and forth because so many people came, and they literally had to like get over the boat to look at me, and I just saw like 7 heads just around me, and they were just black and everything else was white, and then I passed out.
Even after being told she might never walk again and narrowly avoiding amputation, she remains optimistic as she looks back on her period of recovery.
It was weird. It was a crazy experience, but it honestly turned out really well. Like, that was my college essay. I got like that article. like I made the most of it, so that's good. And like I had a lot of support from like my team and my family and stuff. So it honestly, like when I look back on it, it wasn't like a bad time in my life at all. It honestly, like, I don't know. I feel like it was meant to happen.
Yeah.
For Jack TV, this has been Eldara Velasquez.